Get the lawyer on my case. Hurry up and get the lawyer on my
Talk Radio 790 KABC. You're listening to Karl Gerber, Workplace Lawyer Show. I'm Karl Gerber, and I'm a real lawyer, real workplace one. What you are about to hear tonight could happen if the wrong party wins the November election. Listener discretion is advised. Bioengineering is not for the faint of heart.
Mr. Gerber, I am prepared to spend the better part of my fortune to get my genital back.
It's Rhemus Helms! No! We're not going on another mission to find the genital, even if it is Rhemus Helms, the most important man of Sun Valley, California.
I didn't lose mine.
Oh, could he?
Dr. D, I heard you for a moment. Please repeat that.
How could he? I mean, it's impossible for him to lose his...
Heavens to hot dogs! Why is Dr. D here?
Mr. Helms, let's go. I told you, he's done searching the far corners of the earth for missing genitals. He's an employment lawyer. The whole thing with the soldier's part might have got more listeners than anything else, but as a condition to continuing on with this show, Mr. Gerber vowed never to get involved in another hide-and-seek mission to find a missing...
You know what it is. Has always been very dear to me. Mr. Gerber, I know you know how it felt when I found out that not very good unauthorized facsimile had been thrown together out of cheese and melting plastic.
Time out! This is a show about employment law. We can't have the two of you storming in here to talk about another one of those lost things.
Perhaps I can explain. It didn't actually belong to Rhemus Helms.
Well, then who did it belong to? Nizuki, his girlfriend, the world-famous neuro-nurse? Is the new thing people store those kind of things in their refrigerators?
It started in Dr. D's lab.
What?
It was before COVID. We got together.
Presumably to conceive Reverb, the ASMR whisper porn legend, who the two of you claim was born in an immaculate conception.
Rhemus Helms tells no lies, Mr. Gerber.
It was a process of gel.
Lubricant?
Gel electrophoresis.
She had to separate the molecules from my, organ based upon, a charge.
It was a simple process of loading it into a slot.
This sounds sexual.
Of course it is. What do you think she was cloning?
Now, normally I'd apply an electric current, but in the case of Rhemus Helms, remember, it had to be more electric current than I'd experienced in my entire career cloning anything.
Does this relate to Reverb?
Reverb wasn't cloned. I told you. She just appeared one day in my bedroom.
Well, then what's this about the electric current and Rhemus Helms thing being more charged than normal? The two of you did get together.
Mr. Gerber, we're talking about a recent genetic cloning experiment.
Well, this is fascinating. I never knew how it was done.
There are over 151 ordinary sexual positions. But the Helms Foundation has determined that is a rather conservative figure. Over the last 14 years, we have done more than we...
I'm trying to explain how genetic cloning is done, not how it's done.
We were all set to discuss the new statute of limitations for filing retaliation claims before the Labor Commission.
I'm afraid that will have to wait.
No, so looking forward to a thorough explanation of California Labor Law Code 98.7's latest changes. These days, we're taking everybody's temperature at the Rhemus Helms Cosplay Ostrich Ranch before they are able to engage in biological activities.
Which biological activities? Going to the bathroom?
The process of faster and faster and faster, larger molecules were being pulled through the gel, and out of nowhere, a tiny specimen formed. So tiny. It had to be nursed and mothered for months.
Oh, Dr. D, must you discuss this on the radio? I don't want to give the impression I start out that small.
Everybody knows how much trouble my lab is in, because all we had was the nanny cam, and there were some escapees.
Yeah, we heard about that 2 shows ago. I really don't want to get back into that. We couldn't even mention what escaped.
Well, back in '83, I tried to license that song for a film I starred in. It won a fully award. Have you seen anybody? 14 is my lucky number.
I used to watch that every night when I was in college. My roommate had to drop out of Johns Hopkins in order to get away from hearing the silent buzz every night.
Dr. D, I never knew you went in for those punk rock haircuts back then. I mean, I guess I can see it.
Dr. D and I thought, given your skills investigating sexual harassment cases, finding witnesses, cracking ostrich eggs for breakfast, you could be in charge of this investigation.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know how to go about finding something like that.
You so successfully reunited the soldier with his thing, even pretended to be a disgraced Republican congressman in order to gamble it back in a shirtless dreidel game on episode 89 of this show, to be found on my favorite YouTube channel, the Karl Gerber with a K channel.
Well, I'm afraid, given the virus and all, I'm just not up for finding a clone genital. You'll have to get somebody else.
Oh, it isn't like you can just go out and hire a bounty hunter to find a small escaped genital who's lost his way. Lost.
Maybe even kidnapped.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, now I won't sleep at night.
By a bounty hunter?
If a high enough price is put on its head, I'm sure it will be found.
Like Mr. Gerber said, chances are a credible investigator won't accept this type of assignment.
Well, there's always Molly Machete, the biased, non-neutral workplace investigator who decides for the highest bidder.
Well, we tried. Unfortunately, she's working the Trump campaign from the prison.
The last time you were on this show, Remus, you were saying you changed your views on the man you claim held the resin mold when your thing got infringed the same day I passed a California bar in 1993.
While I strongly believe a potent combination of a malaria drug and Prozac, or even Xanax, is still the best prevention for COVID, I am saddened to say the administration stiffed the Helms Foundation on all 114 million units we produced. He never instituted an executive order to pay me.
What were you thinking? He doesn't pay his debts. He just goes bankrupt.
Wow, Remus Helms must be out a lot of money.
Less than $1 billion.
Well, it's been frightening seeing both of you at the same time. I better start getting ready for bed.
Time is ticking. I want to get right down to the point. After I extend an open invitation for you to visit my mile-long bed at the Rhemus Helms Cosplay Ostrich Ranch, I am sure you will find something that helps you sleep.
Call 877-525-0700 during the week for a real employment lawyer. That's me.
You're going to help us find a bounty hunter if you like it or not.
You're expecting me to use my research prowess to find a bounty hunter on the internet to find a developing bioengineered genital?
Not on the internet. We can assure the required privacy for sensitive matter like this. Use the phone book.
A phone book for privacy? Do they even exist anymore?
Now, I'm sure if you let your fingers do the walking, you'll find the right bounty hunter.
Yes, let your fingers do the walking.
Cindy
all
T!
over my...
This is so wonderful. We now have the most famous English-speaking landline phone sex operator over at Mr. Gerber's office.
Maybe she can place the call on a landline to this bounty hunter. I'm definitely not. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show on Talk Radio 790 KABC.
The bounty hunter said, "You don't know me, but I know there's a price upon your head."
The Employment Lawyers Group has successfully represented employees in wrongful termination, sexual harassment, employment discrimination, and unpaid wage lawsuits, including class actions. They are only paid when and if money is collected from the employer. Call 877-525-0700 during the week for an experienced job lawyer. 877-525-0700.
Get the lawyer on my case.
Talk Radio 790 KABC. You're listening to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. I'm Karl Gerber, and I'm a real workplace lawyer. Well, we have Cindy D, who just popped in here. We've got Dr. D and Rhemus Helms, and he wants us to look for something.
Am I supposed to have phone sex with a bounty hunter?
Right, he'll pretend he's Steve McQueen.
This is so exciting. He'll never make it through the call.
And we've just lost all the Steve McQueen fans.
Oh, Carl, where's that phone book?
We have a few old phone books laying around for posterity here at the Employment Lawyers Group.
I see it there. Right next to Black's Law Dictionary. The San Fernando East phone book from '94. The very one I used to call Mr. Gerber.
You said you were referred. You were tracking down the great copyright lawyer.
Come now. Maybe you can wait until Cindy D gets on the line with that bounty hunter. The point, Mr. Gerber, you knew you weren't a famous copyright lawyer back then.
Oh, this one looks like a good ad. He says he's hunted down criminals on videotape.
No, that's not a good fit. One of my actors got arrested for something she did in Kentucky after his wife saw her on a video cassette.
Let me see this. Well, I guess that leaves you with bounty hunters who only have a half-page display ad.
Rears, that bounty hunter looks like he just got out of the jungle.
That's Rambo! No, that's false advertising. Let's call him anyways, or somebody.
Oh, there's a phone book.
Yo, it's your dime. Make it worth your while.
If my daughter gets on the phone, she'll make it worth your while. Would that be enough, or do we have to pay?
What are you wearing?
Black turtleneck.
Oh, I'm wearing a nylon unitard. Are you talking on a landline?
Yo, is this some sort of joke?
Let me take this call over. Put it on speakerphone.
Hey, yo, cat's got your tongue?
You're talking to Cindy D, the most famous English-speaking landline phone sex operator in the world.
So let me get this straight. You're Cindy D.
Rhemus?
Yes. Listen here, Sonny. This is Rhemus Helms, the most important man of Sun Valley, California.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up now.
Pretend I'm licking your neck. It simply must be set free from the turtleneck. Above the collar. Below, going below, going down.
Oh, is that Reverb? Wow, I can't believe this.
It just happened to you, right? The sound of her voice has that effect. Really quite embarrassing if you don't have stamina.
Sir, I'm really sorry you've been bothered after midnight.
Hey, do you know what I'd pay to hear Reverb's voice? And she just did it for me.
The point of this call was certain clients of mine, well, they wanted to hire you.
Yo, listen, you don't have to pay me to hear Reverb's voice. Maybe I'll get used to it. I'll last longer next time.
Well, legal consideration is invalid, doesn't make a contract. As an attorney at law, I would never permit my clients to contract in that fashion with you. The truth of the matter is, if they wish to engage in your services, well, they want you to find something, well, very unusual.
I'm supposed if Reverb is there. Maybe that really was Rhemus Helms. I'm embarrassed beyond cheesecake. How can I ever make it up to you?
I am prepared to pay the better part of my fortune for you to locate a certain object. Very dear to my groin.
No, my renowned phonebook, pronounced Madding but spelled Eminem, didn't do an evil bait and switch. Bait? With Rhemus Helms?
Of course not. You can't lose something that big.
Well, this is quite jolly and all, but if we're going to hire you as a bounty hunter, we're going to have to know what your qualifications are.
Oh, well, that's easy. Back in 1980, I was a very impressionable 10-year-old. I knew right then and there where my future lied.
Now, just this evening, I was saying on this program, there are over 151 positions. Just lying. Lying is so parochial.
Can you tell us about your cases?
Oh, well, it was an autumn afternoon in the heartland. There was an 1800 tag on each one of the brothers. They tried to kill me, but I made a machine gun out of a Columbine.
Oh, this man's a phony.
I am not an imposter. I've been in the Imposters Union, and I picked up a few tricks from Don Rickles' imposter to help me with my hunting. The best trick that man ever showed me was his daughter, Mindy Rickles. All I had to do was bring her along, and the bail jumpers agreed to come back with me if she went away.
These days, she's Mindy Goldman, the woman who first appeared on episode 66, to be found on workplacelawyer.org, when she hid under her eldest son's bed to make sure his first time went safely. I met her on that alleged show finale, April 22nd, when Mr. Gerber claimed the show was leaving the station.
Whoa. Is this conversation being broadcast on KABC?
Now, don't be ashamed. Most men who hear Reverb's voice for the first time don't last as long as you do.
Putting aside the Columbine machine gun thing, which it is from a movie, what bounties have you really chased?
Yeah, you'll be working for Rhemus Helms, the most important man of Sun Valley, California. You better be good.
Oh, I promise I'll last longer on the job. I've got the stamina.
I think we should call somebody else.
No, I've hunted down all sorts of bail jumpers, A to Z, you name it.
Well, tell me about your most difficult case.
All right. There was a $114 million price on a ventriloquist's head. Nobody could catch him, and I mean nobody. He kept turning his head. It even fell off one time, a few times when other people tried to catch him.
Oh, enough with the metaphors.
Hey, he had been fined by the FCC repeatedly.
And where did this ventriloquist just happen to come up with $114 million in bail money?
Look, can I speak frankly for a minute?
Well, of course. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show.
So this ventriloquist was my client.
He was a ventriloquist by night and a bail bondsman by the wee hours of the night.
Yo, I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one with a bladder problem.
Should we really be hiring a bounty hunter with a bladder problem?
Yeah, what if he's in pursuit and he's gotta,
Oh, no credible bounty hunter is going to go after what Rhemus Helms wants him to.
You know, if the price is right.
Oh, isn't the opportunity to work for Rhemus Helms, the Rhemus Helms, enough?
I had to turn you down in 1994 when you tried to hire me to sue for the infringement of your genital.
It's so sweet you say that. But everybody knows you got me $114 million when my genital got infringed by Aiden and Elvira.
I most certainly did not.
Hold on. Can you get back to the ventriloquist thing? My non-biological daughter, Reverb, has a thing about ventriloquists.
All right. So the truth is, I was hired to bring in a dummy.
But we don't talk like that anymore. It's not politically correct. I mean, I'm a disability discrimination lawyer. I can't have that on this show.
Yo, the ventriloquist got fingered for something his dummy did.
No, sir. We can't have talk like that. I don't want to be paying Mr. Gerber's FCC fines.
Listen, he got picked up, put in the slammer. They eventually realized the dummy went on the air and said all that stuff about plastic. And so the fines and the jail time and the bail was all on the dummy. They fingered him, right?
A dummy got arrested and had $114 million in bail?
Yes, sir. You're the man for the job. Clearly, unequivocally.
My hypothesis, Remus, is he's probably just saying the bail was $114 million to impress you.
No. It's a done deal. I am 100% certain he's the right man to find the molecules that were cloned from my genital.
Well, that's what somebody's got a bounty on?
Oh, this is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show on Talk Radio 790 KABC. I have a feeling this is going to continue on next week.
The bounty hunter said, "You don't know me, but I know there's a price upon your head."
The Employment Lawyers Group has successfully represented employees in wrongful termination, sexual harassment, employment discrimination, and unpaid wage lawsuits, including class actions. They are only paid when and if money is collected from the employer. Call 877-525-0700 during the week for an experienced job lawyer. 877-525-0700.